to have evolved on Earth over 200 million years ago, some of the longest living animals on the planet. More than 10,000 species roam the Earth today and can be found across the globe living in some of the harshest environments. The mere mention of some of these scaly creatures is enough to evoke fear in the hearts of many, even though less than 2% of all snakes are considered dangerous to humans. Though feared by some, many see these wonderful creatures as heroes of the environment as well as science. Ladies and gentlemen, today we invite you to experience the beauty and mystery of these sometimes misunderstood creatures. This is Reptiles Revealed.
Hi guys! Welcome! We are so excited to have you here today. Thank you. My name is Amy. We also have animal care specialist Olivia with us today. And we are so excited to share our reptile ambassadors with you. At the end of the program, we'd like to welcome you down to the front of Serpent Stadium where you can meet some of our ambassadors and also ask us any questions that you may have about our ambassadors. So who's excited to meet them today? Yes, one person is very excited. I like that. The rest of you, sort of excited. That's okay. We'll get there. Yes, snakes for sure. So, reptiles are a large group of animals that include a lot of different types of animals that look very different. So they include over 10,000 different species that can be found all over the world on every continent except Antarctica. It is just a little bit too cold for them there, so I think that may be just the penguin domain. Now, reptiles include animals such as lizards and snakes, turtles and tortoises, and crocodiles and alligators, and one other animal that's very unique called a tuatara, that it's its own thing. So what do all of those different animals have in common? Well, to be considered a reptile, you must have two main things in common. First of all, they are what we call ectothermic, which is a fancy word that we sometimes say cold-blooded for. Now, that doesn't mean that their blood is actually cold. What it means is that they cannot regulate their own internal temperature like we can. So we always have a temperature of about 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, where the reptiles will have a body temperature that varies depending on the environment around them. So today's a pretty nice day. Our reptile friends might want to come out into the sun to soak up some of that heat, that warmth from the sun. They may even spend time basking on a rock just like these. But if they get too hot, they will have to move into the shade, or some reptiles will even burrow into the ground to escape the heat of the day, especially in Africa, in places where it gets really hot. Now, the second thing that all reptiles have in common is that all of them have skin that's made up of overlapping scales that are made out of keratin. Now, keratin is the same material that we have in our fingernails and our hair, and it makes up these lovely scales. Now, as you can see, reptiles will shed those scales, and the scales remain intact. So when a snake sheds, they'll shed their skin off all in one piece. They will actually pretty much crawl right out of their skin. They'll usually rub up against a rock or some other surface to kind of help to pull that skin off. Now, this is one of our carpet python snake sheds, and as you can see, it's pretty long, and we have a special way to measure it. So, do you guys know how that is? Any guesses? A ruler, that's a good one. Well, actually, we have to measure them in inches because they don't have any feet. I'm sorry. The jokes just get better from here on out, I swear. Well, maybe. I'm not so sure. We'll find out. So, our lizard friends, actually, when they shed their skin, though, they'll shed off in patches. So it's not uncommon to see a lizard that has kind of sort of a patchy kind of appearance going on. And that's okay, because they're a little bit different than snakes. So we are going to start off by talking about snakes in general. When we say the word snakes, a lot of times people are afraid. Is anyone here afraid of snakes? We won't judge. A couple people, okay. Well, thank you for coming. We hope that we can help you work through that a little bit today. Now, snakes actually is a very common fear. Over 50% of the US population is afraid of snakes. The name for that is called ophidiophobia, very fancy word. And the second most common fear in the United States is public speaking. So I'm going to be really brave today because I'm going to be handling snakes and public speaking. So wish me luck. We have our first snake that's going to be coming out here to show you how lovely our snake friends can be. Thank you. This is our beautiful Momo python. Now we are afraid of snakes in general because they're so different from us. They have no arms and legs. They move about by a series of muscle contractions all up and down their bodies. But their bodies are very simple. They're different from us. And they can actually climb, swim, even burrow into the ground just by contracting and releasing those muscles. So it's pretty impressive how they can do that. A lot of times people think snakes are slimy. Snake skin is actually smooth and dry. So a lot of people think like, ooh, they're creepy, they're slimy. But they actually don't have sweat glands, so they can't be slimy or wet unless they're swimming, which they can do. Now this snake is native to Australia, and it is a non-venomous snake species, so it's not considered dangerous to people. And as you can see, she is completely calm in my hands. She's used to us handling her gently, so she is not afraid, which is why I'm not afraid. Now the Roma python is a special kind of python because she will actually hunt some of the venomous snakes native to Australia. And since Australia has a lot of native venomous snakes, that's a good thing, right? We like snakes that hunt other venomous snakes. They kind of help us out a little bit there. Our next gorgeous snake species is our mandarin rat snake, and this handsome fellow is beautiful. He's got those bright colorations, which usually you might think of bright yellow and bright black on animals. A lot of times means danger. Think of like bumblebees. They can sting us. Other animals that are venomous or that have poison, if you eat them, they will have these bright colorations. So this is kind of a warning here, but this snake is completely harmless to people as well. So he's non-venomous. He's native to Southeastern Asia, and they can be found as high as 3,000 meters up in Tibet. So this is a snake that actually lives in the rocky slopes and up in the high elevation. So very shy, very secretive snake, but very harmless to people. Even though sometimes we might look at this and think, oh, that's a scary looking snake, he's completely harmless. In fact, only about 2% of the world's snakes are considered dangerous to people. And our lovely mandarin rat snake is going to go, maybe. He's got quite a nice wildebeest. There we go. So for the next part of our presentation, I am going to need the help of a brave volunteer who is not afraid of snakes. Oh, I see. We have a lot of very brave volunteers. This is going to be difficult. I'm going to ask for the help of you. I think I saw your hand first. So come on down. How about right over here? All right. What's your name? Kaden. Nice to meet you. All right. Well, Olivia's going to come out here, and I think she may have too much on her hands. She might need your help. So let's see. Which one of these lovely guys are you going to handle? That one's perfect. All right. So you do hold up both hands, please. There you are. And then can you turn and show the audience your new friend? Perfect. So we have two lovely snakes here, very different colors. And what we would like to know is if the audience thinks that these are the same type of snake or are they a different type of snake? So by a show of hands, who thinks they are the same? All right. And how many think they are different types of snakes? All right. And how many people don't know? I'm not sure. All right. That's fair. Nice job. I think he likes you. I'll go ahead and take him back now. Thank you. How about a hand for Kaden? Good job. Well, the answer to your burning question is, these are the same type of snake. I couldn't fool most of you. In fact, these two are different colors of ball pythons. So ball python breeders use what they know about how the parents look to selectively breed for different color patterns of the offspring. So same way that we can breed different colors of dogs and horses, they can do that with snakes as well. So they use what they know about genetics to figure out how to get all kinds of different colors of ball pythons, and I think there are hundreds of different types of colors. Now ball pythons are native to Africa, and they're called ball pythons because of their habit of curling up into a ball and hiding their head when they are afraid. So you can see these snakes are not afraid right now. They are not curled up in a ball. They're quite curious actually. And they're also known as royal pythons because they are revered in certain parts of Africa. So in some cultures, they are like deities. Yes, we must bow to them. They are divine. There we go. Look at that. All right. Now we have another awesome snake coming up. But our next snake is actually a venomous species. Who wants to help me hold that one? I am impressed. I thought for sure no one would want to. Well, since he is venomous, I'm actually going to hold on to him. I was just kidding. But I appreciate that you guys were willing to do so. I like it. Now, like I said, this snake is venomous, but venomous does not necessarily mean bad. And what I mean by that is this snake is not considered dangerous to people even though he is venomous. So the reason he's not considered dangerous to people is because he's what we call a rear-fanged venomous snake. So his venom is located in the fangs that are in the back of his mouth, and they're not very good at delivering that venom to people. So if he were to bite me, which is very unlikely, he would have to bite and chew to even get a little bit of that venom into me. So it's really only effective for the hunting that they do, which they hunt rodents and smaller lizards, smaller snakes, other things like that. He is known as a rufous beak-nosed snake because if you can see at the very tip of his face, he has a little projection of his scales that almost looks like a bird's beak. And what he does is when it is really, really hot in Africa, he will actually burrow into the ground using that beak to escape the hottest part of the day. So he'll hide out during the hottest part of the day, and they're active mostly at dawn and dusk. Now Rufus here is going to go hang out right over here for a few minutes. Our lovely perch there. All right, Rufus, you have to sit. Stay. Good snake. They're trained so well. Thank you. All right, this guy here, I like to say that he is my main squeeze. Do you know why? You know what kind of snake he is? Python. You can shout it out. A python, yeah, that's close. He's a boa constrictor. So I call him my main squeeze because that's what he does, right? A constrictor actually uses those powerful muscles to squeeze their prey. So they're not venomous. They don't need venom to subdue their prey. They use these really strong muscles that he's got that he's kind of giving me a little massage with right now. Now, even though he's a constrictor, I'm not afraid of him trying to constrict me because he knows and I know that I'm much too big for him to eat. So he would not try to constrict me, even though sometimes he gets himself wrapped all around. And kind of looks like he is. Like, I think he may have me handcuffed now, so I should probably put him down. Now, as I'm putting Erwin away, by the way, he is a red-tailed boa constrictor, and they're native to Central and South America. And guess what? He's going to get a lot bigger than this because he's only about 2.5 years old, and they can get up to 10 or even longer for the females, 10 feet long. There we go. Now, you will notice currently that Olivia has opened up that door and is asking our next reptile friend to come out. Now, we're going to switch gears from snakes, away from snakes, and talk about lizards next. So snakes and lizards are closely related, but they are different. One of the most obvious differences is that lizards have legs. They also have eyelids and ear holes, which snakes do not have. This beautiful lizard is our white-throated monitor lizard, Lucy. Now, white-throated monitor lizards are related to Komodo dragons. Has anyone heard of those? Yeah, they're pretty cool, right? The Komodo dragon is the largest lizard species in the world. Alligators and crocodiles are not lizards, so they don't count as part of the largest lizard species. But Komodos can get over 11 feet long, so they are very large, and it has recently been found that Komodo dragons actually are venomous. They are also known, monitor lizards in general, are known for being very intelligent. So a lot of times when you think of a reptile, you don't think of something that's really intelligent. You think they might be kind of dumb, kind of slow. But that's actually not true of all reptiles. And recent studies have shown that monitor lizards in particular are much more intelligent than what we previously had thought. Lucy is demonstrating that for you today by doing a behavior that we call a target. So as you can see, Olivia has that purple target pole, and she is presenting it in different areas of Serpent Stadium to Lucy, asking her to target, and when Lucy goes to the target and touches it with her nose, she is rewarded with one of her favorite treats. Lucy is a carnivore, so her favorite treats are meat. This shows that the kind of training we do here is all based off of positive reinforcement methods using operant conditioning. And that means basically when they do something that we like, we give them something that they like. Good job, Lucy. As Lucy starts to make her way back to her kennel, I'm going to go and get one more reptile ambassador for us. It is our last ambassador. She is ready to come out and make her debut. She is beautiful. Here she is. This lovely lizard lady is Juanita, and she is a Gila monster. Now, Gila monsters are native to the American Southwest, and they are North America's only venomous lizard species. So they are venomous, but the venom is not strong enough to kill a human. It is famous for being an extremely painful bite, though. So you definitely don't want to get your fingers anywhere near Juanita's face. Juanita is also they're known for being the slowest lizard species in the United States. They don't move very fast, and that's okay, because they have that venom that helps them to subdue their prey, which actually what they eat is primarily eggs from the nests of other animals. So they don't really have to move too fast to hunt down that prey. And they don't have to worry too much about predators since they are venomous. And if a predator were to try and eat one of these guys and get bitten, that painful bite is going to tell them, maybe I shouldn't try that again. Now, when you look at Juanita, you'll see she's covered in all these little bumps. Her scales are a special type of scale called osteoderms. And they are scales that cover a particle of bone. So that actually makes it like a really good protective body armor for her. And it's difficult to pierce or cut through. So good defense from predators. Now, that type of skin was common in the skin of dinosaurs, but it's pretty rare today, so Juanita is very special. And that is our last ambassador today. So on behalf of everyone here at Serpent Stadium, we'd like to thank you so much for coming. If you have any questions, please come down to the front of Serpent Stadium, and we'd be happy to answer them for you. Thanks again, everyone. So long.